Come on, we've all been there. What am I doing?
Why did I say that?
Oh, brother, did I screw it up? Laguna's first meeting with Julia is exactly that kind of awkward authenticity. But beneath all the nerves, it reveals so much about who Laguna is as a character. Today I want to shine a light on this scene and show why it's one of the reasons why we still love him to this day. To get to this awkward warmth, we need to step into the strange dream that our main characters are having, sliding into other people's lives. So, who is this lovable disaster that we call Laguna? We meet him lost in the forest, along with his comrades Kiros and Ward, Galbadian soldiers, the enemy we fought until now. Yet, their demeanor feels unexpected. Laguna is awkward, goofy, and full of life. I mean, just listen to his battle music and you'll get it immediately. Kiros and Ward by his side are playful and teasing him. They're not just crewmates, they're friends, and it radiates. This first encounter helps to humanize the lives on the other end of our swords. Funnily enough, they'd rather head home than fight. They don't seem cut out for soldiering. Along with their humanity, that fact helps in warming them to us quickly. Laguna's enthusiasm is contagious, parking his car in the middle of the street, casually, no care in the world. There's something exciting coming, something that gets his heart going, and it doesn't take long for us to understand what, and why they have a usual table in this bar. He's not there to drink. He couldn't care less about a drink. He's here for Julia. Waiting for her, the camera closes in tight on our three guys at the table. It instantly feels intimate, like we're right there with them. The contrast between Kiros and Ward's stoic demeanors and Laguna's restless, puppy energy feeds the light-hearted vibe of their camaraderie. A text box from the dream sequence calls Laguna cute, probably Selfie's voice. Or maybe Zell's? This lets the game shape our opinions through the eyes of its characters, which is a clever storytelling trick. And there, Julia enters the stage and starts playing. A soft melancholic piano melody with no singing, a quiet plea that we will understand later. Of course, Laguna's friends tease him about making a move, but they also cheer him on. They trust him. They know he's going to try. It's a little window into how well they know each other, and hints at the bond they must have built long before this scene. At first, Laguna hesitates, coming up with excuses. We've all been there. Although to be fair, she's working is a pretty good excuse. The brain is good at finding those, but eventually he goes for it. And we're graced with this shot of Laguna standing way too close to her. There's something hilarious about the way the graphic style of this game complements the scene so perfectly. Kiros and Ward's static expression watching the scene, Laguna limping around back and forth with his leg cramping from nervousness, his ridiculous nod before going back to his seat. I don't know, man, I just love it so much. Kiros and Ward are still heartwarmingly supportive, but they have to double down on the teasing there. They just have to. Laguna's attraction to Julia is classic romantic idealism. He only knows about her looks, which might seem shallow, but we've been presented to his innocence before. So it feels more like a dreamer's muse than empty admiration. Then suddenly, Kiros and Ward leave early, and it's unclear why, until a woman enters the intimate scene. A tender guitar and bass line take the stage, staccato chords like two vulnerable hearts tiptoeing around each other, with a wind melody letting that longing peek through. It's simple, but perfect. Laguna's awkward meter is obviously skyrocketing. Julia, on her end, is visibly much more confident and quite amused. You can sense it in the way she positions herself forward. To be fair to our man, she probably received a lot more signals of interest than she gave, but that might just be the clueless man in me talking. She turns out to be very caring and observant. When teased for his leg, Laguna's nerves become a strength. They're a valley for authenticity and honesty, And coming from an innocent soul like his, the words sailing through are incredibly flattering. There's an interesting moment here where Squall's thoughts as a dream spectator and Laguna's thoughts intertwine, which shines a light on another interesting thing about Laguna. In many ways, he's the opposite of our main protagonist. He's goofy when Squall is serious. He's awkward when Squall tries not to appear as such. He's open-hearted where Squall is not. But he's also very good at something that Squall is secretly longing for: connection. Though Julia is amused, she still values his comfort over this charming nerve. As such, she takes the lead by leading him to her room. Yeah, her room. Brace yourselves. When you gotta go, you gotta go. You guessed it, Laguna can't hold still. The moment he finds out she's been aware of his gaze on her every night, him running to the other side of the room is hilarious with the game's engine. Look at him pacing back and forth. Julia's stillness makes it even more dorky. But don't be mistaken. There's a key visual element that must not be missed here. Julia is holding her arm. She's not just a confident star toying with one more fan. She feels vulnerable. There's definitely a nervousness that she's trying to hold by comforting herself with touch. She manages to give back some of his compliments with a touch of melancholy and empathy. Still, I love the touch of assertiveness that comes out of her sometimes. It moves the exchange forward before a stunned Laguna. Little by little, they warm up to each other. Laguna's restlessness eases, yes, but to transform into an unstoppable talking machine. At least through it, his personality comes easily to his date. Non-violent, curious, enthusiastic, loving, caring, open to others, ambitious, and ever more awkward. With on top of it all, a hint of depth when mentioning his past travels. But here's the best part. My man fell asleep from talking too much. Really? That's next level yapping right there. Despite the obnoxious nature of a monopolized conversation, Julia remains patient. His monologue comes from a place of excitement and nervousness, not from being self-centered. Eventually, he asks about her, supports her dreams, and just like us, she's inspired by this man. We get the hint that he confided much more intimately than what we, as players, got to see. And what better romantic thing to say than "Your eyes made me come up with a song." She takes his hand and pinches him in a playful manner. This is not a dream. This is two fragile hearts reaching out to one another. This is us. Unfortunately, Laguna is called for military business and has to leave. They promise to see each other again, and Laguna vanishes into the night. The tragedy of this scene is that this is the last time they see each other. Julia will actually compose her first song out of the piano piece we talked about earlier, Remembering Laguna, and the name of the song is Eyes on Me. They'll both go their separate paths, forming loves and families and living on with their lives. The dream as it is left behind. But romanticism never dies. Julia is Rinoa's mother, and Laguna is heavily hinted at being Squall's father. The love that they did not get to enjoy will actually pass on to their children, who will realize the dream, thus immortalizing a fleeting night of roses and wine. Final Fantasy VIII, among a lot of other things, is a love story. And I think this scene, this awkward and authentic scene, is actually the heart of this game in many ways, as we've seen before. But anyway, that was it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I will see you soon for another video. See you then.